Welcome back to yet another Eastland County Today Live. We are going over some veteran stuff today. HB here has Larry Monroe from Ranger, Texas, and he's going to talk to you guys about an event that's coming up. So without any further ado, let HB take the wheel.
Thank you, Jason. Larry, we're glad to have you with us here today. I tell you, Larry is one of our best correspondents. He keeps us posted on everything affecting veterans and families and programs, and we sort of lean on him because we can depend on him to keep us informed. And he's bringing us information today on a very important event that's just around the corner. Tell us about it, Larry.
Mr. O'Brien, we're having a memorial for Larry Joe Rogers from Ranger. He was the only Vietnam veteran from Ranger that was killed in action. And so we're going to have this memorial for him, and his family is going to be there, his mother and his sister and other family members and friends. And so we're going to honor him by doing this in the family.
Now, where are you going to be doing this?
We're going to have this memorial at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Park in Ranger on Loop 254 East, next to the Ranger Fire Station. This will be March 24th, Tuesday, March 24th.
March 24th. That's emphasized. What day of the week is that?
That'll be on a Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay.
That'll be on Tuesday. We're going to gather up at the park around 10:30. The program will start at 11 a.m. and we'll go until it's completely over and everyone leaves.
How's the parking out there, Larry?
We have around more or less 4 acres of parking. There's plenty of parking area. There's no problem with the parking.
Good.
We have good facilities. We have 2 restrooms there, and we have running water, and we have a lot of area to park, and it's really nice.
Tell us about this man.
Larry Joe was a senior in high school, and he graduated from Ranger High School in 1967, and he went straight into the Marines. He always wanted. His mother told me that he always wanted to be a Marine. That when he was a little child, at 12 years old and 13, he always said when he got out of high school he wanted to go into the Marines, and he did. And right after his basic training, and the Marines sent Larry Joe to Vietnam, and he was killed on March 17th, 1968. He was the only one from Ranger, Texas that was killed in Vietnam. And
don't I understand that you've already erected a monument at that site
yes,
to him?
Yes, we have a Vietnam memorial there, and it has all the names of the ones from Ranger that served in the Vietnam War, and also the names of the ones that was the Vietnam era veterans that didn't serve in Vietnam but served during the service during that time. Their names are on there also.
According to some material I just ran across, this writer says there were 9.2 million people who served in that era.
Yes.
God,
yes.
That's fantastic.
There was in the Vietnam War, there was over 158,000 that were killed in Vietnam, and there was over 300,000 that were wounded in the Vietnam War. It was a very, very horrible thing. It took the lives of a lot of young men, and but at least the men didn't run. The young boys served their country, but honorable. So I'm proud of them.
Are you comfortable telling us about your own service?
My service?
Your service.
I was in the Army. I went in 1966. I served in Germany in 67 and 8. 67, 68 during the Tet Offensive. I was with the 1st Logistical Command, and I was in recovery and evacuation. We had to go in and pick up the blowed up tanks, trucks, and just equipment that was torn up in many different ways. And that's basically what I done, I was in the 3rd Infantry Division before I went to Vietnam, and they just attached me to the 1st Logistical Command. And I was stationed in Charang Valley, which is between An Khe and Quinh Nhon. And our main run was, we supported the 1st Cav at An Khe and made a lot of runs up the An Khe Pass. And that was primarily our main area.
Since you come home, you've been very active, and I salute you because you have brought more attention to veterans and their needs, and worked with veterans and helped veterans, and I think it's such a noble thing, and you can only wish that there were more like you.
Well, I love doing what I do because I think that the Vietnam veterans and all veterans need to be remembered, and they need to be, people need to realize that the Korean veterans, World War II veterans, all the veterans that have served their country with honor, they don't need to be forgotten. They need to be remembered in all ways, and sometimes we forget to do that.
We do. We were talking earlier about the people, the men, there may have been some women, I don't know, but from Eastland County, and you reminded us that there are 9 listed in the courthouse who were killed.
7.
7
There
from
is
Eastland
7.
County.
There were 7 Vietnam veterans killed in Eastland County. Larry Joe was one, and there's 6 others that were killed.
We assigned ourselves a chore, and you're going to help us, and we might as well toss out some information right now. We're going to try to locate the families of those other 6.
Yes.
And add them to the attention memorial in some way. So people who are listening now, if you have a loved one who was killed during the Vietnam War, let us know. Let Larry know so that we can properly remember them.
Yeah, that we want to remember. We want to sure try to get to these other the other names of the ones and locate them, like you say, and honor. And then maybe next year we can honor all of them from this county that were killed in the Vietnam War.
Well, now you've been doing this one on Larry Joe for how many years?
I think 4 years, 3 or 4 years.
So this will be this time, you know, if it's the 5th year or whatever year it is, we need a big turnout of people.
Yes, I have some very important people coming. If you'd like me to go,
Yeah, I would indeed. Tell us what you've got lined up.
Well, I have the Disabled Americans Veterans Commander of Chapter 41 out of Wichita Falls, Joel Jimenez, will be here with some of the members of the Chapter 41. And also our Ranger Veteran Support Group will be there because this is the DAV Chapter 41 and the Ranger Veteran Support Group is once promoting this, doing this together, this memorial for Larry Joe. And Mr. Jeff Milligan, the director of the VA North Texas Healthcare System, Vision 17 from Dallas, he is sending Jim Wheeler. He is a consumer affairs officer with the VA North Texas Healthcare System. He is going to be here to speak at the memorial service. And also he is sending Command Sergeant Major, he's retired Marine Sergeant, J.B. Edwards. He will also be there as to be giving a speech about Larry Joe and the Marines. And so I think this will be a very good program. I want to see everybody there, regardless whether you're a veteran or not. You know, everyone needs to come and be there and see this memorial.
Participate in it.
Right.
In this same article, Larry, I read this month, March, marks the 50th anniversary of the arrival of 3,500 Marines in Da Nang. So this is an anniversary month right now.
Right.
This article goes on to describe an effort to build a national museum in Washington, D.C., I presume. And one man has already raised over $8 million to get this thing started. And they want 400,000 personal items to be displayed in this museum in Washington. I think that's a pretty noble effort.
Yes, it sure is.
And I wanted to call to your attention, you may be familiar with this, but the Texas House of Representatives issues a calendar every year, and this happens to be March issue, March page, and it brings attention to the Vietnam Memorial in Austin that we have down there, and it's very impressive. Some of us have seen the memorial in Washington, and of course that's especially impressive. Have you been there, Larry?
No, I haven't.
You've been, but have you seen any of these traveling miniature?
Yes, yes.
I know they have come close to us. Seems like
Uh-huh.
maybe Breckenridge had that one
Right.
time.
They had, I believe it was Mineral Wells.
Mineral Wells,
I may
hey.
get wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure
I
it's
think
Mineral
you're
Wells.
right. Yeah,
They-
I knew it had come to this area.
Yes,
That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
it sure is. Sure is. Sure is.
They point, and this article points out that so many items, pictures, souvenirs, keepsakes, and so forth, have been left at that national monument in Washington, and these are among the things that are going to be put in this museum.
Right.
I think that's pretty
Very-
neat.
Very good.
Very good.
That's going to be very nice. It sure is.
What kind of a program now do you anticipate? It starts at 11 o'clock, be out by noon, or
Yes, we're going to. We will have the prayer, pledge of allegiance, and we will have the speeches, and there will be a talk about Larry Joe, about the medals he received and that his mother received, and so on. And then after we get through, we will have a lunch. We'll have hot dogs and different types of food to eat, and so on. And then just want everybody to have a good time and enjoy it, and enjoy the camaraderie.
I'll say this, the events that I have attended with Larry and his group at that site, they treat you right and you really feel at home, and it's just an honor to participate with the program they have. And I salute him and encourage him and promise our support. You help us publicize this as you frequently do. Don't be bashful. Let us know. And those people who had loved ones, kinfolks, sons, brothers, whatever, lost or killed during the Vietnam War, let us know. We want to add their names to this memorial.
That's right. That's right.
Larry, can you think of anything I have failed to touch?
Well, I would just like to mention one more thing, if you don't mind, about
Go right ahead.
Larry Joe received numerous medals, and after he was killed, his mother was awarded the Silver Star and also the Purple Heart for Larry.
Silver stars are rare.
A 3-star general named General Carey said for a private in the Marines, it was one of the rarest things ever for a private in the Marines to be honored. I mean, to be decorated with a Silver Star. He when they were all killed and wounded, and most of them were killed, he picked up a machine gun because he lost his rifle. His was something happened to it during all the fighting, and he picked up a soldier's machine gun and held off the enemy and fought him by himself for 12 minutes till he lost his life.
Wow.
And it saved the ones that were wounded till they could drag them out and get them out of there. And so that's how he was awarded the Silver Star.
Did his mother still live in Ranger?
Yes, she lives on Pine Street in Ranger. She is a good friend of my mother. She's around 86 or 7 years old. She still gets around, got a good mind, and she's going to be there with her family.
That's wonderful.
And one of the saddest things I never forget when I first started doing this and talking to Ms. Rogers, I didn't know how to approach her actually.
No, I wouldn't.
But being a Vietnam veteran and from Ranger and knowing her, well, it was a little easier for me, I guess you might say. But I guess the hardest part that hurt me was when Larry Joe's little sister was 10 years old when Larry Joe got killed. And she was telling me that she remembers that day so well because when she seen these two soldiers walking toward their front door, walking down the sidewalk toward their front door, approaching their house, she said she broke down and fell to her knees crying. She said, Mama said Larry's been killed. She said, and said her brother said, what are you talking about? And she looked out the window and seen these two Marines walking toward the front door. And he had been there to notify him that he had been killed.
What a story. Listen, if you people are listening to this, if you don't have a heart for this kind of thing, you better go see your cardiologist because you got a problem.
Yes, it's very sad. It's happened to so many
Time and time again.
Time and time again.
I won't bring you into where we are today because knowing you, I expect you have some opinions. I know I do.
Yeah, this may not be a good time for that.
Larry, I
am proud of our military soldiers, the men and women that are fighting for us, for our country at this time. I'm so proud of them, and the ones that have done fought and come back, and we need to stand behind them.
Absolutely. And you just keep on keeping on, and any way we can help you. I always look forward to shaking hands and seeing Larry because he's always got things going that we like to write about and tell about. And unless he has something else, I'd like to salute our technical director, Jason, because he keeps this thing going and makes it work.
Thank you very much, HV. This has been an Eastland County Today Live. You guys tune in next week, and we will end up having some more events. We'll see you guys later.